going to be talking about confidence. And so what do you think is the secret to confidence? Some people say, well, I'll feel more confident once I get my hair done or get my hair cut, or I'll feel more confident after I get a new pair of shoes or once I get my new outfit. Some people say, I'll feel confident once I'm earning more money or once I get a new car. But what do you think? Are those things really the secret to confidence? Is the external factors like your haircut and what you're wearing, are those the key to your actual confidence? So the reality is that when you say my outfit is going to make me confident, or my car is going to make me confident, or you say my haircut is going to make me confident, it's like being a person on a beach and one person would say, I'm so happy that I'm here on this beach, relaxing where I really want to be. And another person would say, I'll be happy when I get a drink in my hand. The difference is what they've decided to place their happiness on. So to a large extent, their happiness is really a decision. It's not based on the external factors. If you decide to be happy about just being on the beach, then you will be happy to just be on the beach. If the friend says to the other one who wants a drink, he says, hey, we just got to be happy just to be here right now. If that person acquiesces and says, you know, right, you know what, you're right. You're right. I got to appreciate just being here right now. And in that moment where he decides to appreciate that and he begins to appreciate that, he's happy. We're able to decide where we're going to place our emotions, what we're going to hinge them on, because all of our feelings hinge on our perceptions, and we're in control of our perceptions. All of our emotions hinge on our thought processes, and we're in control of that. So you decide what you're going to perceive as making you confident. So if you say my haircut is going to make me confident, or after I have my makeup on, then I feel more confident, then probably that will end up being the case for you. And you will actually start to feel more confident after you have those things. But if you decide, well, no, I'm still not going to feel confident even when I have those things, then probably you won't. But ultimately, our greatest sense of confidence does not come down to the external thing. It comes down to your perception. You see, the very definition of confidence, when we break down what confidence actually is, confidence is synonymous with belief. In fact, in many languages, belief and confidence have the same word. They don't have two separate words for belief and confidence. And that helps us to understand what confidence really is, especially when we talk about self-confidence. Essentially, it is self-belief. It is the choice to believe in ourselves, to believe in what we're capable of and what we can do and what we're proud of. It is the decision to focus on what we're strong in. For instance, if a random person were to come up to you and ask you a question about an area where you feel weak, for instance, let's say you feel like you're weak at math or something like that. I guess that's mine. That's the subject in school that was always the weakest for me. So if you feel like you're weak in math, or think in your situation, what as the subject you feel more weak in, someone were to come up and ask you a question in that subject, on a scale of 0 to 5, where would you place your confidence in answering them? 0 being no confidence, 5 being maximum confidence. Where would you place your confidence in answering a question in a subject you don't feel comfortable in? Now think about a subject where you're very knowledgeable, or something you're an expert in. Maybe you've got a lot of training, or you've been doing something for a very long time. It can be a video game, it can be a movie franchise, it can be something that you know a lot about. Now, when someone comes up to you and asks you a question about that, how confident do you feel in being able to answer a question from a random person? Scale of 0 to 5. Likely you feel a little bit more confident in your areas where you have more knowledge, or you have more capability, more expertise, right? And why is that? It's your perception. You perceive that you will be able to handle a subject that you're more knowledgeable about better, so you feel more confident answering a random question in that area. So for me, that subject might be psychology. I feel confident if someone has a question in psychology that I can answer that question. But ironically, really, they could ask me a question I don't know the answer to, like, what are three of Freud's theories that have been debunked? And they could ask me a question in math I do know the answer to, like, what's 3 plus 3? I would rather now answer the math question, but my perception originally was that I would not feel confident answering a math question because I don't feel capable in that area, because I don't feel strong in that area. So our confidence comes from focusing our mind on our strengths, on what we're strong in. Many of us don't feel that it's very easy to develop confidence because we suffer from low self-esteem and low self-worth. The difference there being that your self-worth is a concrete feeling of yourself and measure of across time and just universally. That would be your worth. But your self-esteem is where you feel and how you feel about yourself relative to a situation or relative to a specific time period. Our esteem is more likely to change over time, but our sense of self-value tends to be more concrete. But whatever the case, with low self-worth and low self-esteem, we tend to have also low self-confidence. And if we had parents that tore us down and didn't build us up, if we had parents that were constantly criticizing us, that neglected our needs, so they didn't validate us, then we're more likely to feel low self-worth, low self-confidence. Our parents may have actually told us that they lacked confidence in us. They may have actually said negative things that have seeped into our subconscious and really affect us. So day to day, we're walking around with negative programs that make us think and feel negative things about ourselves. Does that sound like your situation? Or do you know anyone who's going through that, they have these negative thoughts? Well, because our confidence is a feeling that is derived from our thoughts and our perceptions, you can't have high self-confidence if you continue to think the negative things about you that you learned or developed in childhood. We have to change our beliefs in order to build our confidence. Self-confidence is like a house, and it takes bricks to build that house. And each of those bricks is a thought, a positive thought. Taking away the bricks is not going to build the house. In fact, it will slow down your building of the house. Just like taking away from positive thoughts, that's negative thinking, will actually slow down your building of self-confidence. So then if there's anyone in your life who depletes your self-confidence, who depletes your self-worth by their negative talk, you need to rid them, or rather rid yourself of them. You need to remove them from your life. You need to distance yourself from that person. That person is toxic, that is poisonous to your well-being. Your ability to develop confidence hinges on your ability to focus on positive perceptions of the self. Can you think of anything positive about yourself? Well, possibly you can think of something positive if you give it some time, right? If you think of something, for instance, that you're proud of, something that you've accomplished. If you can think of something, take a little note right now. Something that I'm proud of, that I've accomplished, something that I do well, something that I want other people to discover about me. You'll notice that a lot of professional athletes tend to be self-confident people. This is for multiple reasons, but one is because they have a gift and they tend to focus on their gift. They tend to focus on what they are good at. And that in turn builds their self-confidence. It builds their self-worth because they're focusing their mind on what they do well. And because they're always thinking of that, they walk around with their chest out and their head up high more often because they have higher self-confidence because they're focusing on what they do well. But also They've learned the value of self-confidence. Because two tennis players going into a match, one tennis player thinking, oh, I've played 87 games this season already. I'm tired. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do well today. In fact, I'm probably going to do bad. The person I'm against is probably better than me. I have a terrible serve. I don't think I'm really fast. I don't know how I'm going to be able to overcome an athlete that's as good as this. I wish I wasn't here right now. I wish I wasn't doing this. A tennis player that's thinking like that versus a tennis player who's thinking, I'm so excited that I'm here. This is my opportunity. I've played 87 games so far and I've done well. And so this is another opportunity to do well. I believe I can do well because I've done well in the past. I have a very strong forehand. If I can just get him where I want him, and I'm hitting him with my forehands one after another, I should be able to be victorious. Which of those athletes do you think is more likely to win? If you tended to think that the second athlete who was focusing on everything they do well is going to be more likely to win, well, statistically, you would be right. And professional athletes recognize that thinking in a confident way leads to tangible results in their life. So they have to focus on what they are capable of, what they can do well. They have to talk themselves up before games. They don't have negative talks. They don't have demotivational talks. They have pep talks in the locker room because they have to get their thoughts thinking in a way that will lead them to victory. But of those two tennis players, which one do you think has more confidence? If you're thinking the second one, of course, again, you are right. Because confidence comes down to his perceptions of himself. Really, those could be the same person. They both played 87 games. Both of these athletes are very skilled, but it's the thoughts that determine if they are confident or not. And the confident will reap tangible rewards in their life. So if you've been given negative programming, you're going to need to turn over those thoughts, whether you develop them in childhood or later as a result of some trauma, or maybe there was no trauma, but you just tend to skew on the negative side to keep yourself safe. The reality is low self-worth and low self-esteem does not benefit you in any way. Confidence is helpful. So think about some of the thoughts that you might have that are holding you back from being confident. And think about how you can flip those thoughts, how you can reframe them, how you can fight against them so that they're no longer tearing away from your self-confidence. Do you have thoughts that stem from trauma in childhood, such as, I can't do anything right, or everyone is judging me, or nobody can love me, I'm not lovable, or I'm not likable, no one would like me if they got to know me? If my own father couldn't love me, then how can anyone else love me? Everyone is thinking negative about me. Everyone here is criticizing me behind my back. Everyone is talking negatively about me. These people think I'm fat. They think I'm ugly. They think I'm dumb. They think I'm unworthy. Do you have thoughts like that? Thoughts like that. Each of those negative thoughts is taking a brick away from your house of confidence. In order to experience self-confidence, you have to fight those negative ways of thinking. You have to reprogram your subconscious mind. Those thoughts, don't own those thoughts. Those thoughts are not yours. Those thoughts are not original to you. You pick them up in childhood from your abusive parents, from being bullied. You started to develop those thoughts because you thought it would keep you safe. But those thoughts are now maladaptive for life. They don't help you in life. They are unhelpful. They're taking away from the house of your self-confidence. So you must fight against these thoughts when they come up. Yes, you must turn them around, roll them over. You must reframe your way of thinking so that you can have self-confidence, because self-confidence is a benefit to you. It is a belief, and these thoughts undermine the helpful belief in the self. So how do you retrain your subconscious mind? Well, the same way animal trainers train animals. They use consistency, patience, and repetition. That's how you retrain your subconscious mind. You have to use consistency, patience, and repetition. And every time your subconscious mind, your animal brain goes and gets into something it's not supposed to, you're supposed to respond to it the same way. If your dog, whom you're responsible for training, gets into the garbage or goes into the toilet or goes somewhere where they're not supposed to go or does something they're not supposed to do, how do you respond to your dog? Do you just go, yeah, my dog's probably right. The food in the trash is so much better than the food that I provide for him? No, you are responsible for correcting your dog. You are responsible for correcting your subconscious thoughts. So when your dog goes in the trash, you say, hey, get out of there, right? You correct them. Hey, no, no, over here. And then you direct them to the bowl of food that you purchased for him, right? Every time you're going to redirect your dog, no, get out of there, over here, all right? This is what you eat. He goes in the toilet to drink water. Hey, get out of there, over here. This is what this is the clean water that I've gotten for you. So after you do that one time, the dog just gets it. He's never going to go back. No, it takes consistency, repetition, again and again, retraining the dog. No, not over there. So when you think the thoughts, you must retrain yourself using patience, consistency, and repetition. Thought, I can't do anything right. Corrections. No, hey, what? Come on. I do many things right. That's not a balanced thought. I do many things right. I do a lot of things right. I can do some things. I can do some things right. Negative thought. Everyone is judging me. Hey, no. Come on. I can't read everyone's mind. I'm not a mind reader. I don't know what everyone's thinking. Probably most people are focused and worried about themselves right now. Nobody can love me. Well, hold on. Hey, somebody out there could probably love me. I'm lovable. I have some good qualities just like anybody. And I'm working on becoming more lovable every day. Nobody would like me. That's not very helpful. That's not a helpful thought. It's not even accurate, because there are people who like me. Lots of people have met me from the time I've been a kid to now that have liked me. So maybe I'm not everyone's cup of tea, but there are going to be my people. There's going to be some people who get me. Correct the thought and use patience. When it comes back up, don't get upset. Don't say, oh man, I can't believe this. I had a negative thought again. No, just consistency. Just correct it again. Hey, I can't read minds. I don't know what people are thinking. Some people will get me. Not everybody's going to get me. Some people will like me. I am lovable. I've always been lovable. Well, if my own father couldn't love me, whoa. If my father couldn't love me, that just shows a lack in my father. It doesn't show a lack in me. I was a kid. Come on, why do you not love a kid? There's no purpose. It shows that there's a problem with him, not a problem with me. These people are probably thinking I'm fat and I'm ugly and I'm not worthy and I'm stupid. Hey, people are fickle. These people, they don't know me. I don't know what they're thinking. And regardless, it doesn't matter what they're thinking right now, because they're fickle. They change their minds constantly. So After they get to know me, they may feel different. Doesn't matter. You're retraining your subconscious mind. Does that make sense? How often are we supposed to be doing this? Every day, all day. Fixing the thoughts. Nope, not that one, this one. Nope, not that one, this one. How do we know what's a bad thought? It's going to be the thoughts that are not helpful to the self, that don't lead you towards your goals, your objectives, your purposes in life. If it's not helpful to you, then kick it out, boot it out, evict it from your mind. It cannot live there rent free. You decide the thoughts that can stay in your mind. You decide the energy in which you're going to keep in your mind. You decide. Well, but I had a parent that was really abusive. Okay, we acknowledge that. But it's your responsibility now to shape your subconscious mind. It was their responsibility then and they messed it up. True. But it's yours now. You have full ownership of it. And if you do not train your subconscious mind properly, the responsibility will rest with you. Well, I've tried refraining my subconscious mind and it didn't work. Okay. Well, if I finish eating a banana and then I try to throw the banana peel into the garbage, but I miss, so what? I just leave it there so that everybody can come over my house and see the dirty, rotten banana peel sitting next to the garbage can that's collecting bugs and mold and starting to stink, and say, Roman, why didn't you why do you have a rotten banana peel next to your garbage can? That's super gross, man. And then I say, no, you don't understand. I tried to throw it in the garbage. You get my point? It doesn't matter that you tried it before, try it again. You don't leave it there, you pick it back up. Consistency, repetition means again and again and again and again. Is it going to be awkward to try to reframe your thoughts at first? Well, yeah, you got neural pathways that are already built to think that you're a piece of trash and that everybody's looking at you, and to think every negative thought possible. You've already built those neural pathways. It's just going to take some time to build the new neural pathways, but the whole thing is the brain is plastic. Like, you can change it. So change it. Don't just leave it like a banana peel sitting there collecting mold. There's no benefit to that. Put the work in and change it. Well, how long is this going to take? It's a lot of work. Well, how long does it take to train an animal? I don't have a direct answer for that. It takes time to train an animal. You can spend many days training an animal, weeks even. It doesn't take years. So just get on your business, but the more rigorously you're training that animal, the faster you're going to start seeing results. The same thing with the subconscious mind. If you're just like coming to like one of these meetings a month, like, oh man, that was so good, Roman. Thank you so much. Then you pop back up in another month. Then you apply some of the exercises, but you don't really get rigorous about it. Well, it's going to take a long time in that case to reprogram your subconscious mind. You're going to be working on it for a while. But if you're on top of this, if you're at both of our 2 meetings every single week, if you're enrolled in a trauma healing course, if you're doing weekly meetings with me, if you're watching the videos every day, you are going to see immediate results start happening, and it's going to get better and better and easier and easier. And eventually the old neural pathways close up so that you can't even remember how to think negatively about yourself. You can be happy, you can be successful, you can be confident. A common question I get from clients who are trying to retrain their mind is, after they're doing the work and it's feeling hard, they'll say, I don't understand really what the point is. Like, why am I even doing this? Like, what is the point? Well, you do have to focus on the point. You do got to know why you're doing it. Otherwise, you're going to lose motivation. So identify your objective. Where do you want to be? Because there's just untold benefits to being confident, right? There's more benefits to being confident than we can even name when we think about it. It would be worth millions of dollars. In fact, you would trade millions of dollars to just have really high self-confidence, because with high self-confidence comes higher happiness, higher joy, more freedom, more autonomy, freedom of thought, less anxiety, less depression, more connections, better relationships, more authentic connections. You become more attractive. You're more powerful. You're more wealthy. You feel more centered. You feel more inner peace. You're optimized in the way you're using your energy and your time. That's the reason why. That's the point. So that you can live in your full potential. Why waste what valuable time we have left being a moldy banana peel next to a trash can? We can just pick it up and try again and try again and try again. Focus on your personal power, your capability. Don't be afraid to be successful. Don't be afraid to feel good. Some people feel like, well, but if I felt confident, couldn't that maybe I could become like an arrogant person? I don't want to be an arrogant person. Well, that's good. Just the very fact that you don't want to be an arrogant person lends itself to the fact that you would not become an arrogant person. Self-confidence is not in any way or in any measure bad. Self-confidence is believing that you are great, believing that you are important. Arrogance is believing that everyone else is garbage. Everyone else is rubbish. No one is as important as I am. That's arrogance. Confidence, I am important. Arrogance, I'm the most important. Just don't do that. Just stay here. A confident person does not become arrogant because they maintain all of the parts of the EPIC acronym. They maintain their ethics, their morals, which means that they're humble. They maintain their intelligence. They maintain their compassion for other people, their empathy for others. When you're empathetic and when you're humble and you recognize all of these people are valuable, all of these people have value, have talent, have potential, and I do too. They are great and I am too. I am great and they are too. So let's work on our self-confidence, and let's start right now. The way that you should be thinking is searching for confirmation of a positive bias. Your bias should be, I'm probably pretty important. Sound bold? Just accept it. Just trust me. Write it down, tattoo it on your brain. I'm probably pretty important. Other people are important too. Not more important than other people. I'm just probably pretty important. Write it down. Now, what evidence has there been in your past that you are an important person? If you can think of anything, write it down right now. This is the meditation that you must do on a daily basis if you want to build self-confidence. What evidence is there that I am an important person? Also, I am gifted. That is my bias. My bias is that I am gifted. What evidence do I have that I am a gifted person? Another bias, I am quite often capable. I am quite often capable. What evidence has there been in my past or today that I'm quite often capable? What is something that I'm proud of? I am just as good as anyone else. What evidence do I have? What evidence do I have that I am just as good as anyone else? When you focus your mind on how you're important, how you're gifted, how you're capable, what you're proud of, and your true value, which is equal to every other person, guess what you will feel? This meditation takes less than 2 minutes. So if you're someone who's looking to build self-confidence, every night or every day or at lunch, whenever you've prescribed for yourself, for 1 week, you're going to do this meditation. You go on your phone, open up the timer app, set your timer to 2 minutes, close your eyes, and ask yourself, what evidence do I have that I'm important? What evidence do I have that I'm gifted? What evidence do I have that I'm capable? What evidence do I have that I'm just as good as someone else? And what am I proud of? Just take 2 minutes. When the timer goes off, you stop. And then you do it again the next day. I'm important, I'm gifted, I'm capable. What evidence do I have? And then you do it again the next day. And then you do it again the next day. And then you do it again the next day. Why? Because this is how we build a new neural pathway in our brain. This new neural pathway, we'll call it confidence row. Yes, it's going to be a super highway of confidence that you're building in your brain. And what happens when there's a new neural pathway, the energy tends to go to the pathways that are created in your brain. So what happens, the same way you ruminate right now over negative things and everything you've done wrong, your mind, when you are relaxed, can naturally sit in a state of confidence. I'm going to repeat that. When you create a neural pathway of confidence, your mind can sit in a state of confidence when you are relaxing. When your mind sits in a state of confidence, can you imagine how you will feel? What will happen to nightmares? When you don't have fear and anxiety during the daytime, you do not have nightmares during the nighttime. And when you have self-confidence built up, it changes, it's a game changer for every situation. So now you can walk into work, you can walk into social situations. We've solved your social anxiety, we've solved your overthinking and ruminating, we've solved your self-consciousness by what? Creating that new neural pathway of confidence. You're just doing it every day for a week. You might find it works so good you keep doing it. How do you think confident people are speaking to themselves? They're speaking to themselves positively. If there's anyone in your life that is not 80% positive, cut them out. 85%, actually. They need to be at least 85% positive. If they're not 85% positive, shut them out. You don't want to, read their texts. You don't want to hear their messages, nothing. You want no contact with them. If there's not 85% positive toward you, they will not build up your confidence. This includes your subconscious mind, but you can't shut your subconscious mind out, so you have to retrain. That belongs to you. So it's your fault if your subconscious mind remains not 85% confidence. It is your responsibility to retrain it. And I promise it'll be worthwhile, because if you do, then you'll be able to live with other confident people in happiness, joy, bliss, freedom, well-being, no anxiety, no depression, having good relationships, genuine connections, feeling powerful, wealthy, centered, and at peace, optimized. I appreciate everyone for being here today. And so we'll end our session there. And there's a warm welcome to everyone. You're all invited back for Wednesday night, our group discussion. Thank you so much for all of your support, all of the donations that have come in. I love working with you guys. Have a great night.